Hello everybody, I'm Michelle with Stampin' Butterfly. Thanks so much for joining me today. It's not my usual time to hop on, but I haven't been on in a bit and wanted to share this month's Paper Pumpkin. Well, actually it's August, so it's last month. It's the July 2023 Fun in the Sun kit. So this is the adorable Fun Fold card. So you'll see, we're gonna go over how to make this. I'm going to share some tips and tricks because it can be a little tricky trying to follow those instructions that come with the kit. So I have some info to share on those. We'll look at the cards made together. We'll put one together, and then also I have some alternative projects that I've made along with the kit and some other supplies. And then I want to share a few more things with you as to other products you could potentially purchase or you may have in your crafting stash that would help your kit go further along. So if you are out there, drop me a hello and let me know where you're from, and we'll go ahead and get started. So let's take a quick look at the kit. So if you're new to Paper Pumpkin, the kit each month comes in an adorable box, and it comes with everything you need. So it's great for summer, it's great for kids, adults, and you can take it where you go. Your first kit will come with your block, which I have supplies around here somewhere. So it'll come with a block that you'll reuse for each kit and your stamps. Comes with an ink spot. This month is Daffodil Delight, and I'll show you my cards. I didn't actually end up using this ink. I thought it was a little bit light, so I swapped out for what was in my stash. So in this kit, you'll be making three different kinds of cards, and then they always have some fun envelopes that coordinate. So we'll go through that in a minute, but let's take a quick look at the kit. So you have an adorable stamp set on this one. Let me see if I have a white piece of paper that I can kind of put behind it. So you can take a look at some of the stamps in here, but they're super fun. I'm in Florida, so obviously I like the beach, so this kit was right up my alley. And some of the sentiments say waving hello. I see brighter days ahead, sending an ocean of love, wish you were here. Relax, you deserve it. There's a sun and a starfish. There's a little tag sentiment, sending sunshine to, and then you could add a name, and hello sunshine, and then sorry I was crabby, which I didn't use that one yet, but I love that sentiment. So those are the stamps, and then you'll see in your kit you have your pre-cut card bases. Let's move some of this out of the way. I'm going to run out of space. Then you've got your different embellishments that you can punch out. And mine's a mess because I've been making and creating. And then there's different panels that go on your cards. There's an adorable Adirondack chair. They give you some tear tape to use on your cards. A little bit of gems because you need to have gems on your cards. And this kit actually doesn't have dimensionals in it. Usually they do give you dimensionals, but it's so thick on this side when you mail it, so they didn't include any, so most of your card will be flat. I think on one of my cards I did use some dimensionals on some of the alternatives, so I'll show you that. There's some banners for your sentiments, and then like I said, there's just a bunch of goodies in here. They gave you some glue dots to help put some of those small pieces on, and let's see, and then these are the pretty envelopes that coordinate. And you'll see I chopped some of these up and made them into cards. So we'll take a look at that a little bit later. Let's decide which card we want to make, and I'll show you how to fold the card base. I guess we'll go with this one since it's already out. Let's see, which card base is this one? So it's this center card here. So let's move some of our supplies aside. And if you stick around till the end, I'll show you my alternatives. They are a ton of fun and they're not too hard. So let's see. So when you open your instructions, you'll see there's this first panel that goes through what goes in each card. So you can pull apart your whole kit and assemble piles to go with each card, so you kind of know what goes with what. And then there's detailed instructions. You've got your tape to measure if you need it for ribbon or anything. And then they give you some instructions along the way. So we're doing this one at the bottom. So let's first take a look at what we need. So we're going to need this card base, check. Let's see, we need some more panels. I have a mess in here, like I said. This one is going to use a starfish, and you can always change your kit. It doesn't have to be exactly the same as the way they do it. This one gets a flag. I think it's the longer one, but we'll see when we pick our sentiment, because you can again change it out. We're not going to use our envelope right away. We need some palm trees, which are in here somewhere. Let's see. And they've pre-cut them, so you just kind of have to give them a little wiggle and shake them out of your box. There's that guy. So what else do we need? Oh, and we need some panels. So somewhere in here are some pretty panels that we're going to use to decorate. And I think they put them on the same piece. Yay. Okay. So we'll need some gems, some tear tape. And then they had a seashell here, but it didn't show up in the card, so I put a little X on that, but you could still do that if you wanted. All right, let's move some of this out of our way. Ooh, paper is flying. Okay. Pull out a few more of these. And let's see. Oh, actually, I should show you the other cards and talk about some of the colors in here. So this is the card we're making. This is another card from the kit. And this one's cute. It has the little crab, and you've got your accordion fold here. And this one says, hello, sunshine. And there's little slots in the crab's hand, so you could slide your little banner in there. So that's super cute. And then this is actually the one we're making tonight. So I could use this as a sample to follow along with what I needed. So yeah, this one takes the longer banner and then your little palm trees. So you'll see the pieces kind of line up. So we'll talk a little bit more about that. And then I showed you this one earlier with the little beach umbrella. All right, so now we'll flip to our instructions. I can't say I understood the little arrows and the things. I found that a little confusing, but I'll give you some pointers. All right, so let's fold our card base first. We're gonna move stuff out of the way. Oh, look, the seashell made it over here anyway. There's a few little pieces in the palm tree in the centers that we're gonna pop out. We don't need those, so we'll just go ahead and pop those out real quick. And put them in our trash pile. There we go. All right, they're good to go. So the way I think about it on this card, so you've got a score mark here and there's some score marks along the way. So I kind of thought, okay, well, it's got to fold in half and go into my envelope, right? So I definitely need to fold on this score mark and then the bottom of my card, right? So we're going to need that, and then we're going to need this one at the front, right? Because that's got to fold in half also. So there's this one. We're going to fold this one first, and then we're going to fold this one down. Then there's these middle sections. So the middle sections are just going to kind of go in a zigzag. So this is going to be reversed. So that's going to go down because we're doing an accordion, like a little fan. We're going to fold this one up, and then we're going to fold this one in the middle down here down. Hope that makes sense. So that way when you're done, your line lines up and it'll be folded that you can get into your card. So we're going to want to use our bone folder for this so that we can get the creases really good. So we're going to go ahead and use our bone folder once you figure it out. And if you fold it the wrong way, don't worry, you can just unfold it and fold it the different direction. So there's mountain and valley, some people say. So that I find a little confusing something too. So here's your mountain, your valley, mountain, valley, mountain, right? So that's kind of how your accordion goes. So it's kind of like M's and W's. So that's how you'll fold your card base, and it'll be the same for all three cards. So once you get the hang of it and you get one done, you can kind of keep that aside and look at it and fold all your card bases, and that'll get you started. All right, so that's the hardest part of the card is folding it. So we got that done. Yay. Then we have these other panels that we're going to assemble and we're going to stick on there. So they show some tear tape, and there's going to be one that goes here. And then the little sailboat's going to go on the next section. And then we're going to have a little front piece. So we're going to have the little palm tree here. I'm not going to glue them down just yet. We're going to stamp our sentiment, and then we'll stick on some fun little pieces. So on my cards, you'll see I used Azure Afternoon. That is one of the colors in the kit. It's not the ink spot that comes with it, but I had it in my crafting stash. So if we wanted to see what our coordinating colors are in this kit, we have Crumb Cake, Daffodil Delight, Granny Apple Green, Melon Mambo, Azure Afternoon, and Flirty Flamingo. And I think they also listed like Basic Gray is around somewhere. Crumb Cake is nice if you're going to stamp some dots on the sand. So one of the stamps in here, oh, is not dots. I used it from another stamp set. I'll show you that later. There are some coordinating things that we have that work fun. So like on some of the cards, you'll see I added some sand and spots and things. So let's see. Do we want to, I think we'll keep this sentiment in Azure because I really like that color. It's one of our new colors to the color families when they did our color revamp. Okay, so we got this. We're going to make a mess. Do we need crafty paper? I think we'll be okay. So we're going to go ahead and open our ink pad. We're going to pick our sentiment. So last time I did sending an ocean of love on this card, right? So I think this one will do hello sunshine, or I see brighter days ahead. So let's go with that one. And you'll grab your block. And if it's too wide, if it's wider than your block, you can turn it catty corner, angle to angle like that. And then you can use that to stamp. Now, because I have my big ink pad, I'm going to kind of stamp down. With your little ink spot, sometimes it's easier if you ink it this direction, if you do it opposite. But like I said, I have my stuff already out. So we're just going to go with that, ink it up. And then there you go. We'll clean that off and close the ink pad. That's the only stamping we have, so super easy. Now the other thing to note is you're like, okay, well, where do I put my message on this fun card? And you'll see that there's some room on the back, so you could kind of write your message on here. Or you can attach like a little piece of paper that folds over. All right, so a couple things to point out when you're trying to decide where to put these panels. You can see that some of the imagery kind of lines up. So for instance, when you slide this panel, if you slide it all the way down to the crease and you fold it in half, you can see that the horizon line lines up. And then you'll look at the picture and they'll also tell you to do that. Same thing with this one. You can put it further down. You could prop it up higher, but it kind of blocks your picture there. So I like them all the way flush to the bottom. If you wanted your card to be taller, you could technically scoot it up there, but then the horizon line doesn't really line up as nicely. So another thing to point out, this is a tiny piece right here. So if you put your tape up too high and then you try to glue it down, you'll see that the tape is going to be sticking to the wrong part of your card. So you're going to put the tape either at the bottom of this, or you can use this piece here and decide like to put it in the middle. So sometimes it's easier when you're mounting it onto things to put the tape on that side. So we'll go ahead and do that. So we'll fold it back down. We're going to use our tear tape. You could also use your liquid glue if you had that. They gave us some of this fancy tape, so we'll go ahead and use it. And then all you do is you kind of place it down as far as you want it, and then you tear it. That's the name, tear tape. All right, and then I'm going to go ahead and do this one while I'm at it. You could put two pieces on here. This is a bigger area. You don't want it to flop around, so we can put another piece on there. And then I like to burnish it on. You can use your fingernail or your bone folder. Make sure your tape is on there really good. And then you just peel off this backing. Toss that aside. And we'll go with the furthest panel first. So we're going to go ahead and put this one on. And I like to put it on the crease. You're going to want to fold your card back up and then just make sure it's level. Try not to stick it down where you don't want it to stick. So there you go. It's still, ooh, well, good thing I didn't pull the tape off that. Shoo, scared myself. All right, so we're just gonna rub that on to burnish it good. Do the next one. Tear that one off. We'll put our little sailboat on here. Same thing, you're gonna line up the right and left sides to make sure they don't overhang the piece. And then you're just gonna fold it, and then again, you can do that. You can just do your fingers on the one piece. You're good to go. There we go. Our card is taking form. So now the next one, this side's really puffy, so that's why they didn't give you dimensionals, but this side's pretty flat. So I'm thinking, you know, if we wanted, we can add some little dimensionals to the palm trees on this one. I didn't do it on my sample. I followed the directions and I did it flat. But I'm thinking there might be a little extra room. I wouldn't dimensional this one as much because you're already pretty thick for mailing your card. If it's hand delivered, then, you know, go to town. with your dimensionals. So if we look back our instructions again, you know, they've got some more things going on. They're pretty lacking though. So they show here a piece of tear tape at the bottom of that. Like I said, I did it on the little bend instead, so I knew I didn't go too high. Here they're showing you to put tear tape at the bottom of the palm tree and a couple little glue dots on your starfish and your palm tree and then on the banner. So we're going to try some puffies. So we're going to get some dimensionals and do that instead. Go wild. And then I'll use a mini dimensional because the starfish is a little small. I'm going to pop that one out too because it's on this this side right over here. All right, so we're going to pop it out and line it up, and then you can decide, you know, if you want to put it flush across the card here, if you want it to come in more, if you want it to overlap. So kind of decide where you want that. Before you place that, if this is going to be underneath, you want to make sure you have enough room that you're not going to block this, right? Because we're doing it in a reverse order. And since I've popped this up, you know, you may need to pop that one up, or you got to have an overlap a little bit. So we'll kind of keep it far to the left, and we can check the picture too. So if you wanted to look at their sample, they went all the way to the left on their card. On mine, I kind of scooched it over just a little bit. But again, it's your card. You can change it however you please. And then we're just going to make it flush to the bottom. And we'll put a little starfish on there. We'll stick them behind, so that's cute. And then now we're back to the banner. You know, can we really fit it with dimensionals? We can look and see, well, does that really make it too thick? Probably not. I'm going to go ahead and go wild with the dimensionals tonight. Why not? So we'll probably stick a couple of these in here. Pull off the backings. Probably need one more, but not too far because I don't want to crash into the palm tree. And then we're just going to go ahead and put that on there. Now you could also put your sentiment up here, you could put it there, you could do a shorter one, you can change up your banners. But it's quick and easy once you get the hang of how to fold that crazy little fun fold card. Let me move some of my trash around. All right, so that's card number 1. We probably won't go ahead and put the whole kit together. If you have questions, be sure to drop me a comment and let me know if there's any questions. Hi Hannah, thanks for joining me. I'm glad you're here. So we are going to take a look at some of the samples. So one other thing on your instructions, just to let you guys know, they do have a Paper Pumpkin blog. So sometimes the QR code works, so you could try to scan that and it might take you there. Sometimes it doesn't. It might take you to last month. It depends on when they post it. But they give you some alternatives on here as well to get you kind of, you know, get your mojo, your crafty flow, you know, ideas flowing. They did a shaker card and, you know, they just changed it totally up. They made a totally different card. So let me show you some of my alternatives because I had a blast with this. I'm not even done. I brought some pieces I was contemplating alternatives with. We'll see what time it is and if we want to put that together. So let's see. Let me grab all my little projects over here. And then I'll show you some of the other coordinating products. So this kit here, I went ahead and took the same card base. So this one was it this guy? Yeah. So I took this card base and I went ahead and stamped the sun on there. So we can leave it here so you can see. I took the chair from the other card and I used my blending brush. So we have some blending brushes. You can ink that up. Colored it up with that. So I used some azure on there. And then I went ahead and used some of my other stamp sets I have on hand. So this is from the sand that I was telling you about I did on the other cards. Is from the Seaside Bay. Ooh, that's reflecting. There you go. So there's some cute dots. I put the seashells on this one. You can use the crab also from here to make some fun additional crabs when you run out in the kit. And then the die set is from the waves. So I cut some waves out of the dies, added some of the starfish that came in our kit here. And then the extra happy birthday is from the same wave set. And then this banner, I believe I've got a couple dies. I'll show you how they work together. And then this came in our paper pumpkin kit. And then the gems here are just from one of the Seaside kits. So that same one from the last mini catalog that I showed you that stamp set. So there you go. Now I've got some fun waves going on at the beach. And let's take a quick look at some of the products. So for instance, I used this little banner, and I believe that's in Stylish Shapes. So yeah. So these coordinate really cute. You could use these to get some more sentiment tags, because you can see there's like a little flagged one here. So you can use some of these to make your kit go further, because you'll have your stamp sets after you finish your kit. You know, look at all these goodies you have left over. You'll have pieces from your kit probably, and then you'll have these guys. So this will just give you some ideas of what else you can do with it. The All That dies also has some cute banners and flags and sentiments and things. This almost looks like a sun because it's kind of scalloped, so you might be able to use that on a card. And then some of my samples I'm going to show you in a minute. I used the Basics 3D embossing folders. These are an online exclusive. You can find them online only. They're not in our paper catalog. And they come in a 3-pack. And I love these. So this one almost looks like, it's like a star pattern, but it looks like starfish to me. And then this hex one I've been using a ton. And I just started on the dots a little bit. Some additional gems you can use, because it comes with those little clear ones. Oh, we forgot to put those on our card. So there's some little gems that come in the kit. But, you know, lots of different options. I have some glossy dots. They're probably, I think these are retired yet. And then I have some retired in colors. And they just have some pretty glittery colors you can use in your kit as well to make it go further. Let's see. Okay, so let's take a look at the samples. So for this one, let's see if you can tell. Let me see. So I did the background here with that hexed embossing folder that's in the kit, not in the kit, in the online store. And what I did is I just took this one panel off of this card right here, this back panel, and I glued it on here. And this blue piece is actually a piece of the envelope. So if you take a look at the envelope, I cut another one up because I was working on a potential card. So which way was my envelope? So my envelope used to be like this. And if you cut a tiny, tiny piece off of each side, you'll have pieces of your envelope. I also cut it in half because I was working on, I had a crazy idea in my head. So if you cut your envelope open, you can use these pieces. So you'll see I used this on another card, and then I had this panel left over, which is what I embossed for that. So you can make a lot more cards out of your kit. This is a little die that I used from the that die set I just showed you. He's all that. And then these are some of our border dies with the little scalloped clouds I thought kind of look like sand. So that's just a little fun card. You can, you know, use your pieces of your kit to go further. Then I did a tag. So this one, again, I had a piece of the scallop left over. And then I made a tag because it has the Sending Sunshine too, and then you could put your friend's name. And you can put a cute little present with that. The next one is the flap of the envelope. So that's the one I just showed you where we cut it apart. We used a piece here, we used a piece here, we embossed it. And then I did some banners. And then these gems are from that group I was showing you, the glossy dots. And I don't remember if they're retired or not, but if they are, you probably have them in your stash or something similar. So there's another fun alternative you can do. The next one, so this one I used a couple of different things. So I used this starfish embossing folder, which it's kind of hard to tell in here. But I took the star paper from our birthday pack of paper and stamped our starfish, because it came in our little stamp set, right? We've got the starfish in here. Oops, there you go. So I stamped that, and then I embossed the piece. And then I used the radiating dies, which are an online exclusive too, to stamp those. Have some retired gems. I have lots of gems, so I've been digging in my stash. And then this embossed panel in the back is that Time Worn, I think it's called. And I made this one into a fun fold. So if you look inside, I used those flags again, and then this is from that Seaside Bay Suite. And our card base is Lemon Lolly. So I just thought that was a bright, sunny kind of color. And then you've got your little fun fold there. So that's another thing you can do with your kit. And then I have this one. So I had this kind of idea in my head, and it took me a little bit to play around with. And you'll see it's just a white card base. And what I did is I used our designer paper pack in the brights, and I used the Daffodil Delight striped pattern in the background. And then what I did for this one is the 5 1/4 by 4. So I just cut my card base. Let me grab my stuff so I can show you. So I cut my little card base here. Might actually be, I trimmed it a little smaller so I could frame it up. So you take your paper, and I went ahead and I have a pack of our masking paper, so it's sticky. It's very sticky. And I just tore strips of it. So you can see I just took the width of it and I ripped it into strips. Just random. And before you stick it on your paper, I highly recommend sticking it like on your pants or on your sleeve of your, not your arm, but on your sleeve, and get it less sticky. So you want some lint on there. And then all I did for this card is I did some blending. So I put like one down here. This looks like the one from the bottom because it has the brown, right? So put the brown there, did some of that, put this one over here, and then you can do your blending across your card. And you can see my paper is bigger. You'd want your paper to be the same size, or you'd trim it. But you just use your blending brush. You pick up some ink and you do that, and it gives you this fun edging to your project. So I did the daffodil on top, I did some azure, and then some crumb cake at the bottom. And then for the crab, he's actually some extra die cuts I had from the Seaside Bay. So that's actually paper that I colored with my watercolor pencil. But you could stamp this crab right here, cut him out. There's also a die to this set if you have this one handy, and you can use that. So that's kind of how you do that one. Let me know if you have any questions on the cards. I think those are all my alternative projects. I'll share with you something I had in my head, but it's just a mess right now. So I was thinking of doing a fun fold. I have some pieces cut, but I didn't finish. And I'll give you a quick glimpse at it. So it's 5 1/2 by 8, so it's a little shorter than our standard card base. And then I did some score marks. Was going to go ahead and put this on the front, and this is Granny Apple Green, and maybe put the little palm tree guy going on there. And then this is an inside panel for our card. This one would go here. We could stamp a fun sentiment on there. We could put the crab on there. He's a little bit bigger than our palm tree. He's not really to scale, but that's okay. We could put a sentiment on here. And then I was thinking for the background here, it'd be fun to trim this piece down and maybe have, like, you know, this striping in the back with the palm tree. So we can go ahead and do that if you guys want to try. We can try to assemble that, give it a quick whirl. I'm creating on the fly though, because like I said, this was an idea and I started cutting some pieces but did not finish. Okay, so this is our inside panel. I think we should put a little starfish on there or something, so let's get that one mounted. I've got some random blocks here. I think we might need some scratch paper. I think we'll be okay. Try not to stamp my desk. And we'll put a couple of little starfish and crumb cake in the corner. I think that's cute. And that's going to be our inside panel, so we'll give that a quick glue. And we'll stick that over here. So we're going to put, hopefully, oh yeah, good, we got glue. Ooh, wait, you know me and glue. Maybe I should have my silicone mat out. Make a mess. All right. We'll stick this one down. And you just want to make sure it's actually on the inside of the card. Okay, good, I put it in the right place. Whew. All right, then we're going to go ahead and put this little piece on here. Oh, the hearts are cute too. We could always do the hearts on the other side. I think we'll stick with the stripes. It almost looks like grass with the little dashes on there. And we'll set that down on here. There we go. Now we have to decide what we want to do on this panel, and we'll have to do a little trimming. So let's grab our paper trimmer, and We want our panel to be 5 1/4 across. So let me turn it so it's not upside down. And I think I measured in the inside little dents of this are actually 5 1/4. So we are going to trim each side to make it flush. Let's see. Or close-ish. So it's more squared off instead of it round. But I guess you could do round if you wanted. This one we'll have to flip over so we can get a straight line. Let's see, where's the 5 1/4 mark? It's right there. So yeah, it might be a little short of it, but that's okay. We're gonna go with that. That looks pretty good. And then if we look, we can leave the curve if we like that, or we could make it straight across. I think we're gonna go with straight across. So we're gonna trim off that piece right there and make it more square. Then we're gonna have to trim off some from the bottom. And let's see, where's my ruler? I usually like to do the 1/4 inch measurement, so that's 3. So we'll do 2 3/4. And hopefully we got that measured right. If not, hopefully the palm tree covers it. All right, I think that's cute. What do you think? Okay, I think that's all the trimming. This is still a little rounded. Let's go up a smidge. My paper trimmer doesn't always love if I try to do an edge. It might shred my paper. Sometimes the chopper does better if it's so tiny that we're taking off. That's not too bad. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and put our rainbow down. This side is kind of cool too. It's swirly. It could be like the ocean. You could technically do that, but then it gets covered up a little bit. So, and the sticky part of the flap is there, although I don't think anybody will really notice. All right, so we've got a fun little card going on. And we'll just center it. That gives us a little bit bigger border than we do at the bottom, but I think it still looks fun. Ooh, it slid on me, hang on. Got the wiggle room of liquid glue. All right, so we've got that. Now we've got to decide on this little panel here what we want to do. So maybe we'll stamp some sentiments. Let's see, what do we have? Hello, sunshine. Wish you were here. How about that? Maybe a little sun. And then wish you were here. Okay. So we'll take our daffodil. We'll do the sun first. And remember to always stamp first, glue second, just in case you don't like it. So let's see, our palm tree is probably going to be here, so maybe we want the sun on this side. And again, we can flip it over if we decide we don't like it. There's our cute sun. And then our sentiment. Do we want to do Granny Apple Green on this one? Or is that too much? Let's see, where's our palm tree? Oh, there's some pieces over here. Let's see. Do we think? I think the blue is better. It's too much green if I do that. So we'll go with the azure, because it ties in our back paper a little bit. Or maybe we do 2 different colors, one row in one and one in the other. All right. Ooh, that's kind of close. Let's do it at the diagonal. We're going to do hello sunshine. And then maybe we'll do the other one in the green. Got stamps flying everywhere. Got our other ink pad. And ooh, mounted itself almost. Let's kind of test it out. So that's cute, right? You could even maybe I do it on this side. We'll see. Can't decide. I don't want the palm trees to cover the sentiment though, so maybe I should have done it up higher. All right, wish you were here. Might need to re-ink that. Green is looking a little light. A lot of love on that. I love my granny apple green. Okay. So we'll go ahead, put that on. Now we can add some sand to the bottom if we wanted. We can add some of those little seashells down here too. That would be cute. All right. Try to center it. Wiggle room with our liquid glue. All right. Now let's try to assemble our card and decide where we want our placement to be. So the best way to glue this, so you're going to want it to be, let's see, you want your card to fold, right? Now I forget how I did it. So you want it to open like this, right? So there you go. We're going to want to put some glue there, and then we're going to put some glue here. And then you want it to be able to close. I might have made that flap too big, but we shall see. Let's see, I think I like that, but now I got to decide placement of the palm tree. Wish you were here. No, I like it together on there. I just wish it was a little lower. Oh, well, maybe if I put the palm tree up higher, that might work too. All right. So we're going to decide where we want our placement and put a little glue. So when we do that, okay, I think that's the way we need to do it so it folds into our card. We'll see if I made a disastrous mess. Now this would be a good place to do the tear tape actually. Let's do that. All right, so we're going to put, oh, I tore it twice. So we'll put one piece here. And one piece here. Gonna burnish it. Like I said, I'm just doing this on a whim, so I haven't tested it. It may not come out. Might have to chop it up later. Okay. So our card needs to fold, so go ahead and push it flush there. Got a sticky thing and a flush there, right? So that looks like it holds. Woo, I think I might have done it. We'll go ahead and stick it down and see. So this is kind of like our fun fold in the card, but not as crazy. And then I think we'll do some dimensionals on this guy because you know I like my dimensionals. Put that here and here. Woo! I love when I have a card idea in my head. Okay, so we can put this like right here. Let's see, I don't want to block the hello sunshine. Yeah, if I'd scooched it down a little, that probably would have been a little bit better. Oh my gosh, I love that. It's super cute, but it's like a naked spot here. So let's see, do we want to put that crab over here? I don't know where I put him. Oh, there he is. Let's see. No, he's humongous. We could have done the seashell. I have some other seashells. Where's the kit with our extra goodies? We have flip-flops. I think the chair will be too big. We could do the crab from this kit. He's not too bad. He's a little bit smaller than that guy. The flip-flops are cute. So is the starfish. Let's see. Oh, and I got all these little seashells floating around. What did I do with that other extra crazy one? Here we go. Oh, nope, it didn't want to stick to my finger. So we could do that too. The other thing you could do, you know, you've got these panels in here. You could cut apart your palm trees and have only used some of them. You can cut some of these surfboards here. Could put those on there too. So let's see, do we want flip-flops? That's kind of cute. Or the seashells. I think I like the flip-flops. I think we're going with flip-flops. And of course we're doing dimensionals, sorry. Alrighty. Oh my gosh, I think that's super cute. Hello sunshine, wish you were here. And then you've got your fun fold. and your card opens up. We've got our little starfish in there, and then you are good to go. Oh my gosh, I really like that card. What do you guys think? You'll have to let me know if you have a favorite from tonight. I'll post some pictures later on my Facebook page if you swing by, and maybe this week, either tonight or this week, and you'll see the cards up there as well. So let me flip you guys back. I want to thank you so much for joining me tonight. I hope you enjoyed the Facebook live that we did, showcasing the July paper pumpkin and all the alternatives. And I hope you love this fun fold as much as I do. You can find the kit online. I'm not sure if the refills have sold out. I don't think whole kits were available. You usually have to subscribe to the kit by the 10th of the month. So if you're interested in next month, or this month because it's already August, subscribe by the 10th on my Paper Pumpkin site, and you can get signed up for the next kit. And I think it's some pretty flowers, and I think there's an extra free stamp set in there as well. So you can find more information on the description. I'll put some links in there in the YouTube video to find my Paper Pumpkin store. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. Thanks for joining me tonight. Bye-bye.